Welcome. In the last video, we created an entity card details, and with the help of convert annotation we provided our attribute converter to the fields which we wanted to encrypt. For attribute converter we created a class called AES encryptor which implements the attribute converter interface. Here we override two methods. First is convert to database column, in which we encrypted our entity field value to encrypted database value. Second is convert to entity attribute, in this we decrypted the database value to entity field value. Then we created some tests to test our code, and insert some entries in the database. I added some more entries for our today's video in which we are going to query results from these data. For that we will go to our card details repository. Here I will show you 3 ways to query the data. First we will query using JPA methods. Next we will query using JPQL. And last we will query using native queries. So, for all 3 of these queries, I will find a list of card details for same cardholder. For JPA method, the return type will be list of card details. And the method name will be find by, and we will add the field name here, which is this cardholder name, so it will be find by cardholder name. And it will receive a string parameter where we will pass our cardholder's name. And that's it for JPA method. Now let's test this method. For this I will write a test case, public void list data. Here I will receive the list of card details. And for that I will call the card detail repository.find by cardholder name, and I will pass the name as Tom as it is an entry that I added earlier. Now I will just print the first value here as there exists only one entry in the database. Let's run this test. Here you can see that it has printed the decrypted value in the console. Now let's query using JPQL. For this, again I will create a method whose return type will be the list of card details. And you can name it whatever you like. Here I'm naming it as find using JPQL, and parameter will again be string value, let's say name. Now to write JPQL I will use query annotation. Inside this query annotation we will write an SQL statement. Select star from card details where cardholder name equals to the first parameter. But the syntax of JPQL is a little different. Instead of table name, we write the entity name, and provide an alias name for it. Instead of star, we provide the alias. And instead of database column name, we write the entity field name. And that's it for JPQL. Now let's test this method. Here I will replace the JPA method with our newly created JPQL method. Let's run this test. Here again you can see that we got the same decrypted values. Now let's see the same query using native SQL query. Again I will create a new method with return type list of card details, and name it as find using native query. To write a native query we will use the query annotation, and write the SQL statement as we did before. But here we will provide another property called native query, and provide the value as true. Inside the test case, I will replace the method with our native query method. But here in the parameter, I will not pass Tom as a plain text. This is because, unlike the JPA method and JPQL, the native queries does not use attribute converter to transform the plain text into encrypted text before matching. So to make native queries work, we need to pass the encrypted string as the parameter. And to do that I will be using our AES encryptors method, convert to database column. So here I will write AES encryptor.convert to database column, and pass Tom here. Now let's run this test. Here you can see we again got the decrypted values. With this I have shown you all the 3 ways in which you can write queries and fetch the decrypted data. You can find the GitHub link for this example in the description below. Thank you for watching.